few and far between. I mean, the private lender today is really concerned not with just one or two or three things. They're concerned with one primary thing. I'm going to go over that with you. And unless you're able to overcome that objection, forget about your presentation. You're going to lose 50% of it. And the third thing I want to talk about is networking. Networking with you guys here, where I pay a referral fee, and I'll get into that in more detail. What is private mortgage lending? Private mortgage lending is basically when a company or person loans money to another person or investor for the sake of purchasing real estate. That's all it is. Anyone could be a private mortgage lender. Anyone. It could be a person with a CD, a person with an IRA, a person that in a money market account, whatever. And right now, as you guys know, CDs are paying about 2%, money market accounts are paying about 1.5%. People are losing money and people want to get off the fence because it's been 2 years already, 2.5 years, and everything's taking a dump around them, and their main perception of the market is the news and the press releases and what have you. So it's all negative. What I did in 3 months is I worked my warm markets. And it's really fundamental and it's really basic. All I did is I sat down and I wrote down 27 names, which I still have. 27 names, I didn't even get through half of them. And I wrote down 27 names of the people that I know or that I've known. It could be relatives, it could be old friends, acquaintances, whatever, or people that my parents know that have known me for a long time. So if you kind of just open up your mind, you could put down a list of 40 or 50 easily. I know it sounds crazy, but you really could. And all I did is I called these people, and I said to them, hey buddy, how are you doing? You know, I let the conversation go where it's going. It's not mechanical. You're not trying to be a salesman. Just be normal. Be yourself. And you talk to these people, you say, listen, you know I'm in real estate, or you don't know, but let me tell you, I am in real estate. I've been in real estate for an X amount of years or X amount of time. And basically right now we have a great opportunity to use smaller partners where I will give a great equity position for the purchase of a property that I'm getting, which they are secured with, for the purpose of raising money. In other words, okay, that's too long. Let me start over. What you do is basically you call these people and you say, listen, I'm involved in real estate, and I want to talk to you about a program that I have that will allow a person I'm working with to become a junior partner with me. You may know somebody, but I would like to spend 10 minutes with you. That's it, just 10 minutes, and tell you about what I'm doing. And then in that case, you will probably be able to think of somebody you may know and refer me to them. Does that sound okay with you? If they're your friends or family, you say sure, because it's indirect. You're not asking them for money. You're asking them for somebody they may know. So people love to do favors. Make sure you ask them a favor. Private mortgage lending is not a new concept. It's been around for eons, okay? Other people's money. But right now is a time more than ever to really try to use that avenue to raise cash for your own investments. Only because you can borrow the money it takes to purchase the property and the rehab costs. And the way I work and when I talk to my private lenders is I make sure that I tell them, listen, I'm going to let the interest accrue just like it would in any CD or money market account you have. And I can show you a way how to receive that investment, that return on your money, tax-free or tax-deferred, through what's called a third-party administrator. And then I can tell you more about that in a bit. But essentially, the main concern of the private lender is the following. And this is what I really want to harp on. The main concern of the private lender is the local current market. It's not the interest rate they're getting. It's not their security. It's not what your X is going to be. The main concern is the current market. And unless you overcome that objection, it's not going to happen. I have a brochure here that I'll hand out to anybody who's interested. And it gives a little story, a synopsis. And what I did, I kind of just did this out of necessity, where I put a story and I kind of linked it up to my service. And if you do that, then, and you do it efficiently and effectively, then you're going to see that people are more receptive. And the story basically goes like this. What if you could wake up tomorrow morning and you had all the knowledge and all the skills and all the experience necessary to make intelligent offers on properties and pay cash for them? And what if you had the ability to look at 250 to 350 properties every week, and out of that tranche, you were able to put aside 15 to 20 that you were very comfortable with buying? I mean, you just knew that if you bought these deals, they were home runs. Okay. And what if you had the cash available to purchase these deals? And the basic deal that you purchased, the basic transaction looked like this. The property has an after repair value of 170, 200, has an after repair value of 200. You pick it up for 110, 150 at the courthouse, and needs about 10 grand of repair work. That's about 70 to 75 grand of equity right when you buy. How many in this room would not want to be a part of that in some way or facet? What do you say? Of course. Well, we have a great program where you can participate in a program like that, and let me talk about it. It's called private mortgage lending. Once you get the yes, you already close them. You don't have to, the presentation is the presentation. But once you get the yes, psychologically, it's an emotional decision because people are scared. The fear monster, right? So that's probably the best way you could do it. The way I raise the money, I'm going back to this, because the way I raise the money in 3 months, like I said, it had nothing to do with marketing or solicitation or sending out 100 or 2,000 brochures or what have you. I just talked to regular people I knew. And after I finish up today, there's another way you could do this where I actually am talking to brokers, what I just discussed with you, where I'm talking to brokers and they're letting me speak at their events. They're letting me speak there and talk about what I have to offer. And what this is going to allow me to do, and I'll share this, I know there's some of you in this room who are interested in private mortgage lending. What this allows me to do is sit in front of a group of 30, 40, 50 agents and talk about networking with them. And what's the plus for them? The benefit for them is that they get the listing. By referring me first to someone who may have money, they will get the listing. That's the main thing with working with brokers. But essentially what you want to do always is you want to open your mouth. You want to talk to people. There's always opportunity to talk to people wherever you are. People are always going to ask you what you do for a living. I invest in real estate. Sometimes what I do is I borrow money from regular people like you and I to purchase these properties. And I pay a very nice rate of return secured by the property that I'm buying. How do they get secured? The private lender gets secured with 4 documents basically. But the main ones are the first 2, which are the most important. They get a mortgage, a first mortgage on the property. First and only mortgage. They get an original note. They get hazard insurance, title insurance. So they're secured. And of course, we all know as investors, when we go in to purchase a property, we make our money going in, right? We don't try to figure out what we're going to make later. We figure what we're going to make in the beginning, and then we base our criteria for the purchase on that idea. So they get all these documents, and they're secured with a piece of property that they have a first lien position on. So if anything happens to me, they get the property. They have the property. Now, do they have to foreclose? If for some reason, if I don't follow through with my commitment to the loan, do they have to foreclose? No, because we made it even better where there's an addendum signed in the note that stipulates if we screw up and we don't pay you, or God forbid, I die, the property is retroactive into your name. So they don't have to get foreclosed. They don't have to do anything. They can sit back and receive a passive income, hands-free, without getting their hands dirty. I'm paying anywhere between 10 and 12%, but you'll be surprised. I'm changing my marketing because I've been talking to a few people, and I asked them, after I get my presentation, I go, let me ask you something. What interest rate, if I could present to you in the next 20 minutes, exactly what the program is about, and at the end of that presentation, you say to yourself, you know what, this is a great deal, well, you have it going on, you're awesome, I'm on board. What interest rate would you be comfortable with? And 9 out of 10 have been telling me 8 to 9%. Not even 12. And when you mention 12% or 15% like they pay up north, people get kind of, it looks shady. You're like, you're getting maybe 12, 15%, and it confuses them because they don't understand that we're paying 12% on the loan amount, not the appraisal amount, not what we can sell it for. So those are just some basic things. What I want to present to you guys, I know that, first and foremost, my email is open to anybody in this room. You can get my card here. If you have any questions, I'm not going to tell my email, just get my card. If you have any questions, you can email me. I'm pretty fast to respond with the email. Usually I don't answer my phone because I'm either in a meeting or doing some presentation, but I will get back to you and call me. The main thing is that whenever you come to these events, you have to understand there's people here who are on the forefront of things that are changing with the market currently. And that's what you have to do. Because if you're studying something that came out 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, it does not apply today. There's some fundamental information that's out there that does apply, but it doesn't really apply in today's market, especially in South Florida. Because we got on that bandwagon with the subprime mortgage mess and all that stuff. So we're on our own in many ways. But if you come to these events, it's a great thing because it's always giving you new information and fresh information. And basically, if you guys have any questions,